Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique All Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video and what's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video, I take a model and I paint it up. But there's a little twist. The model that I paint up for the Monday painting video, or models that I paint for Monday painting video, is voted on by you guys, my viewers, from last week's Weekly Wednesday. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so as you can see, these guys won the vote, the Obliterators, with 2 votes. Absolutely some really crazy ass models here. I love these. I love the only thing I don't like about them is they're only, you can only order them from GW with the Venom Cooler, which is still a cool piece as well. I hopefully when these come out when their codex comes out, these guys are not redone, but these guys are sent out, sold in a box by themselves, or even, you know, just made more. Even if they come with the Venom Cooler, that's fine for me, but just make them more accessible so you can have more access to them. So we're going to go through my wet palette quickly. I got some Steelies and Drab on there, but that's for their base. Do the gravel on their base. And I'll do that before I start actually painting. I got some Cadian Flesh Tone, which is my go-to colour now for skin with Bugman's Glow, but I'm not going to use Bugman's Glow today. I got some Retribute Rama, some Lead Belcher Silver, some Euphron Grey, because there's a few bits that need to be highlighted for some contrast paint. So the first thing I'll do is going to sort their bases out, and I'll come back to you again, guys. Right, so that's done. I apologise if you can hear that in the background. That's the next door neighbour deciding he's going to mow the grass. So you can see how just one dry brush of that, well, not dry brush, it's a heavy dry brush with flat brush. Now I'm going to come in with some Lead Belcher, and I'm going to try and, I'm not doing the whole thing, but I'm going to do things like the gun barrel, things like that, the bullets, things like the barrel here, and there's some pipe work as well. They don't get confused with this pipe work, because this isn't exactly pipe work. That bit there is, but the rest of it's flesh. So I'm going to do the pipe work and some of the gun pieces with the Lead Belcher. I'm going to come back to you again after that, guys. Right, so what I'm going to do now, just give you a quick look, see, there's not much. You can see little bits and pieces, not much really, other than the bits of the supporting them at the back as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of that Cadian Flesh Tone, I'm going to water it down a bit more on the wet palette, and I'm going to come in and pick out all of the fleshy parts. This guy doesn't seem to have many, but the piping is fleshy. And then I'm going to come back to you when I've done that. Right, so such a big difference that makes. It's a crazy ass amalgamation of skin and metal. So there's some parts like under here, with some metal coming through, and then comes the rain. It's nice. Anyway, so I'm going to go to Euphron Grey, and I'm going to pick out a few bits, like this plasma bit on here. Pick that out. Now with this, I'm actually going to go over myself, over the intended target area. Because when I come in with the next colour palette section, it's going to really pop out. I'm actually going to, I watered that down on the wet palette, by the way, even more, just to give me a nice flow. I'm going to take a tiny little piece. I'm going to try and pick out his eye socket. That might be the wrong brush to do. Anyway, I'm going to do is actually his cloth as well. Bring it off with him. I'm going to go off camera and go through the other guy and do the same sort of stuff. Right, so I'll show you the face there. You can see I totally missed that, but that doesn't matter because the next colour is going to go in there. I want to put over the white, so it's giving me a glow effect. So now I'm going to come in with some Obliterators and go through the painstaking task of doing all the edging around the armour creases. Not around the armour creases, all the edge highlighting, or not edge highlighting, all of the bits along the edge of his armour. Now, interestingly enough, these guys now have to have a mark of chaos. In the 10th edition Chaos Space Marine, on the app, on the GW app, they have to have a mark of chaos. Whether that could be Khorne, Nurgle, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, or Undivided. Now, because their rules are not finished as such, I'm just going to give these guys Undivided today, so I'm not going to do any mad colouring on panels. Because I got a feeling that might change slightly. But I'm just going to give them a normal black trim with the gold trim with the black armour. So I don't need to do all that on camera because it's a long ass process. So I'm just do a little bit, then go off camera and do the rest. Just to give you guys a rough idea of what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. So now I'm going to come with some Druchii Violet. And I'm going to hit all the skin sections. So everything I painted with the Cadian Flesh Tone, I'm going to just shade. Don't panic, I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera, I'm just going to do a bit of it so you can see what I'm doing. We'll do that on both models. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of that. So now that's dry. That's what we're left with, something like that. So now I've got some Khorne red on the wet palette. I'm going to water it down a little bit. And what I'm looking for is I'm going to do like these little bits. I'm thinking about gun casings and stuff like that, just to add a different sort of colour to what's going on. I actually looked at their rules, and the mark of Chaos Undivided gets less than reroll to hit, or rerolls of 1 to hit, something like that, which is not too bad. I think I need to hunt down some more of these, or get some more of these in, because I think giving them a mark of Chaos and painting them up slightly different than Mark of Chaos would be really good for them, because I think the Mark of Khorne lets them have critical hits on a 5+, lethal hits, sorry, on a 5+. I think Tzeentch is the same. I think the Nurgle and Slaanesh give them sustained hits, or they have sustained hits on a 5+, shall I say, which again is actually really dirty, really disgusting. So it's gun casing done. I'm still tempted just to whack a colour on them, a Chaos God colour. I might come back and do that anyway. But anyway, let me just get some red on this guy. And next I'm coming with some Telazar blue contrast paint. Don't want too much, just want a little bit. Slap it in there. This little plasma type weapon. Now splashed over with the white so I can actually get in there. Cover that with the white. I covered the blue onto the white. Just give me a nice little reflective surface. I don't know what I'm talking about, reflective surface. So that when the blue goes on, it lightens up. It gives me a little glow effect. The same thing I'm going to do on the eyes. This guy's eyes are just crazy. I'm still so tempted to give him a Mark of Chaos. Next I'm going to come with some Eldari Emerald for this guy's robes. Do you know what? I am going to paint them. I am going to give them a Mark of Chaos. I'm going to, what I'm going to do first of all, I've got some beaten copper here. It's an old copper paint. I'm going to paint their spinal columns with that. Just to give it just to contrast the flesh colours there and all that. To give me a nice little different type of palette there. Thinking about reroll ones to hit, I think it is. Even if it's reroll to hit, that's still not as good as getting the sustained hits or the lethal hits. I believe the lethal hits are when you roll to wound. If you roll a 6, but in their case it'd be 5+, they become mortal wounds, which is absolutely very, very good. I can't remember what their weapons are. They're 2 damage a piece or 3 damage. I think they have a different choice of weapon they can fire. But let's say it's 2 damage a piece, and you for 2 shots, D3 shots, whatever it is, and you score both of those on a 5+. Yeah, you're already getting a huge amount of mortal wounds. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to drop in some paint copper on some of this pipe work. And just to break it up a little bit. There's some on his leg. One thing I love with our metallic paints, when you have very little on the brush and you carry on going, it gives you a faint hint of that colour, but gets very metallic-y silver. There's a few of these pipes as well. Now what colour am I going to paint them? I don't really want to go corn because I've got the corn red on the gun casings and stuff. Now of course it's going to be two colours, at least 3 colours probably actually. Snurse is going to be 2 colours. Sanchez is going to be 2 colours. I'm going to go off and think about what I'm going to do here. Well, I'm still thinking about it. We're going to come in now with some white scars and pick out all these little teeth. The teeth on the gun. This guy has teeth right there as well. Oh, I did Eldari Emerald into this little spike protruding from his shoulder. Here's the rain coming in again. It's not a good sign. Right, for all intensive purposes, these guys are about ready. Okay. Now, if you were going to give them Michael Kowals, you're going to paint their panels, you know, a certain colour. But I've only decided that now. So I'm going to go with some polished blue. For those of you who don't know polished blue, this is polished blue. It's a metallic-y blue. It's a very nice colour. I wasn't going to use it on Chaos Marines anymore, only because I use it on my Necrons. I don't want to finish it and not have enough Necrons. But the way for you to get that look is to paint the panels with light silver. I can't think of one offhand, but very light silver, not lead belcher, but something that one of the silvers is a layer paint. Just give it you know, once over on the panels after you've done the trim or before you do the trim, and then come in with a blue or even a blue wash. You know, a blue layer paint would be better, not Lothern blue because it's too bright, but you know, something like that. Just do it. But I'm going to come in with the look, I forgot the skull. I'm going to come in with some polished blue. I'll give you a look at what it looks like. So you put it on. If it decides it's going to focus in. And as you go away and less gets on the brush, it goes like a silvery with a hint of blue. It's a beautiful colour. Yes, nice that is. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of the guys. As I said, so these guys are about ready. So now we're going to take it to the next stage. So I've done some screaming skull on the steel tutus, and I did a screaming skull across the stone underneath him, but you'll notice the difference in it. So there wasn't the stone underneath, it was just last little bits that were on the brush, and the actual rest of it was screaming skull on there. So I'm going to take some beaten copper, come to the edge of the weapon, and I want to just give the end of that weapon a little touch of sort of like a rust effect, but not quite a rust. That's not what we're going to go for. And I'm going to paint the beaten copper into the fuel cell. There's a little colour variation there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with some Lothern blue. I'll water it even more down even more on the wet palette. And I'm going to come in and just a little bit in there. I think it's too watery and I think there's too much on there. So just on this plasma type weapon, let's give me a different type of blue. And they're going to come with some white scars. And I'm going to just work some across the skull here, just to give it a look. I'm actually going to just say edge highlight. It's not really an edge highlight. I'm just following along the lines, just having a little tiny bit on the brush, just to pick out those little areas. Just seen the piece that I've missed with the polished blue, so I'm going to come back in with that. It's looking absolutely amazing. I don't know what the hell I did that there for. So I'm going to come with some Lothern blue, just work it into these gaps. So it's like a fuel source powering the weapon. I watered Lothern blue down a bit too much. So this one's dry now, so what I'm going to do with some Lothern blue, it's not as watered down, just come along the edge there. Still wet, doesn't matter. Right, so what to do with this guy now? Tricky violet shade. I'm not going to need a lot of this, I'm only going to need a little bit. Probably should have done this before when I did the screw violet in the first place. I'm going to chuck it on the end of this gun. Bear in mind, I'm putting a little piece of beaten copper on there. See it better, put it this side. So as that dries, it's going to give me a nice sort of scorched like look. The faces look crazy. That's with the blue, contrast paint blue, and then just a little bit of the polished blue, just was on the brush, just to get rid of it. One last thing I'm going to do, because I'm not too happy with the red on this gun, so I'm going to come in with some corn red, some white scars on my wet palette, mix it up a little bit. Just going to give a little dab here and there just to break this colour up. I'm not too sure about that now, to be honest. I know what I'm going to do. I'll take a wet brush, bit of cool red. Come in and I'm just going to wet blend it down. I really messed up with that colour there. Wet blend down with the original colour should save me now, because it's going to give me the same red but just a few bits differently. Now, that, my friends, is not finished yet. One last thing I need to do. Now back to white scars. I'll water it down even more on the wet palette. So it's really, really watery. Sorry, I was out of focus, I didn't realise that. Just whacking some really wet down into the gun bit there. And what I'm going to do, a little bit of white scars. Too much. Sorry, I was out of focus again, I didn't realise that. So keen to get to painting these and really enjoy painting them without forgetting what I'm doing. Forgetting I'm not, I may not be in focus. These guys are done now anyway. I'm not overly happy with the gun on his shoulder. Maybe I should have gone for something a bit more simpler and not done, I mean, the cornrows on the heavy bolt coming over his shoulder this side, that's fine. Maybe I should have just done something a bit different with that. I don't know. I think it looks okay, but I'm a little bit disappointed in what I've done there, to be honest with you. Any comments or thoughts, just chuck them below, guys. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures in a minute. But, you know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Helps the channel out in a massive, massive way. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. For all my regulars here that, you know, watch every video and comment and all that, guys, I feel loved so much. It means the world to me that you support the channel in the way you do. Everyone smash the thumbs up button, because that will trigger YouTube to share this video with more and more people, which makes this community grow even more. And, you know, take it easy until next time. I'm going to bring you down to show some pretty pictures, but, you know, take it easy, and I'll see you soon.